Okay, so this is the trade setup on the TFJ 2.0, which signals a reversal. So I already, in the previous video, I did show a setup that was you were looking for a signal for a down trade. This one is a signal for an up trade. So let's get into it. I'm going to start the market replay from right here. This is on the Dow Jones, and this happened on the 27th of February. And what you're looking for on an up trade is pretty much the opposite of what you're looking for on a down trade. So I'm gonna pause the video right here because we got a signal. So you're looking for a red hammer pointing down on a green diamond. So the red hammer with the tail sticking up on a green diamond. So let me highlight that for you. This is our indication that we might have a possible trade setup. Doesn't mean you're going to get triggered in, but we have an indication that the market might be reversing for a possible trade setup to go up. So the tail is right here, it's pointing up, and we have a green diamond. And I like to use my crosshair to just, verify that the hammer is on a green diamond. So I go down here, I see the green diamond right here, I see the red hammer, we're good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to hit play, and we immediately set up for this up trade. Now what we do is we use the tail of the hammer to see what the price is. So if I put my crosshair right at the tail of the hammer, the price is 18139. So we always want to enter one tick above that. So our entry is 18140. So we're going to do a buy at 18140.
Order pending.
We're going to see if the market triggers us in. Now we want to pay attention to this pivot right here, because after we get our signal, we want to make sure price does not break this pivot. Otherwise, you have to manage the trade differently or cancel your order altogether. So now we're looking to get 10 ticks out of this, or somewhere around 10 ticks. It all depends on, what you see fit to take out the market, what you feel comfortable. But on average, this trade usually goes about 10 ticks. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. So pay attention to this pivot right here where I have my cross here to make sure that the price after the signal does not break this pivot. Okay? So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit to see if we get triggered in. Speed this up a little bit. See if we get triggered in. Alright, so
order filled.
Our order has been filled. Okay, so order has been filled. We immediately put our stop loss. Now you can use this pivot for your stop loss. I did say on the other video you want to use the pivot that comes after the signal for your stop loss. You can also use this pivot as well. It just depends on the level of risk you want to take. So for this example, we just use this pivot. So we come down one tick under it, 818121. And since we did a buy, we want to do a sell stop. Always in the middle, right? We have our stop loss in place right there. So now we want to do our take profit. Take profit, we're looking to get around 10 ticks. So 18140 to 18150. That's 10 ticks, so we'll put it right there. Now, you have to note that the market
order pending
will hit this level occasionally, but it has to go through it in order to trigger your profit. So if it gets to that level, you might have to manually take it out sometimes, because it has to cross through to get you your profit. But we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna fast forward this. This is a trade towards the end of the day. It's after 2 o'clock my time. So, but I just wanted to give an example of an up trade, and how to set it up and what to look for. So again, you're looking for a red hammer with the tail pointing up on a green diamond. tail has to be pointing up on a green diamond. Okay, we're only looking for that signal. We're not looking for a red hammer down on a green diamond with the tail pointing down, like right here. It has to be a red hammer with the tail sticking up. Okay, so it's very simple. I like to think of it in opposites. You know, red on a green, the tail has to be up. Alright, so I'm gonna fast forward this market a little bit. You know, we're in the trade, got our parameters set, we're managing the trade as we go through the trade. This is the end of the day trade, you know. It's Friday, might I note, but you know, I just wanted to give an example of an up trade. So, you know, the market's cooling off right now, probably, and you know, it's a Friday, so I'm always cautious about trading on Friday, but I just wanted to show you guys how to actually find and verify a signal for an up trade using the reversal strategy on the TFJ 2.0. So we were up 5 ticks, you know, but as you can see, we still haven't got taken out. You just want to pay attention. You know, if you feel comfortable taking that $25 at a hit, by all means take that. You know, by all means take that. You know, it all depends on your level of risk that you're willing to take. If you feel comfortable taking those 5 ticks that you got to $25, do that. Okay, so it's up to 35, 45. You know, it's close. You know, for some people they would take that. You know, and I got the market speeding up pretty fast. I'm gonna slow it down. So I'm just gonna hit play right there. So we're just in this trade, just watching it, managing it. You know, if you wanted to move your stop loss up, you could do that. You know, to cut your risk more. It's just all about your level of risk, you know, and how you want to do it, how you want to manage the trade. You know, got up to $45. Some people would have took that $45. So we're gonna see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna see if we touch that line at 10 ticks. And should be getting close right now. This trade, like I said, is a little bit longer. It's the end of the day. It's a Friday. It's around 2 o'clock my time, around 12 o'clock Pacific Coast time. So these kind of trades, you know, might take a little bit longer. You know, you might not even take the signal, but I just wanted to show you an example of an up trade. Just waiting. Still in the trade. It's up $30. Everything looks like it's going good. You know, I'm gonna get ready to close this out. Let's see if it touches that 18150, which is about 10 ticks. Oh, and I just noticed something else. So after I finish this trade, I'm going to show you something else as well. I do see a down trade, and I did go over the video, but I just want to point that out that there, a little bit before this, there was a down trade as well. So
order filled.
Order got filled. Would you look at that? So you can see we got our 10 ticks, $50 right there, right? You never got taken out right there. Get rid of this order.
Order canceled.
And again, basically, this is the reversal. I'm starting to like that, the reversal. This tail indicates a level of resistance. So you want to always set your trade entry 1 tick above it. Because if it touches that, you know, it'll trigger you in, but it does. Sometimes it won't break through it, so you want to make sure it breaks through that. So you want to set it 1 tick above. So it was 39, we set it at 40. We put our stop loss right here at this pivot right here. If you got triggered in, you can use this pivot too. depending on your level of risk you want to use. And we set our take profit for 10 ticks. Took a little while, but eventually the market did go in our favor and take us out. Now, this is another thing I did see. I wanted to mention really quick. We have a down trade right here that looks pretty good too. Well, it doesn't look pretty good. It actually worked out. I want to point this out. If you watched the other video, I'm not going to do the market replay on it, but if you watched the, you know what? Let's do the market replay. What time did this take place? 13:02. All right, so let's go to 2:02. No, hold on. 1:02. I'm sorry. So 1:02. Around 1:02. Right here. Let's check this one out. I'm just gonna go through this really quick. This is an example of a down trade. I just seen this, so we're gonna see what. We're just gonna go through this really quick, paying attention to the market right here. And we're gonna see how this one plays out. I'm just gonna go through this really quick because I explained how this works in a previous video. So we got our signal. It hasn't formed yet. It hasn't closed. But what I'm looking for is a green hammer with the tail pointing down on a red diamond. So you can kind of, once you get used to this, you can kind of see, foresee if the signals, there's a possible signal forming. And I see it right here. It hasn't formed all the way, but there's a potential. So I'm just paying attention. We're going to fast forward this a little bit. Okay. Fast forward it to see this market. Okay, we got our signal. So right here we got our signal. All right, so we immediately set our sell for one tick below. So it's at 18165. We want to set it at 18164, right? This is a sell signal. Okay.
Order pending.
We got our market order pending. Okay, we want to pay attention right here and make sure price doesn't break this pivot. If it does, you have to manage the trade a little differently, or cancel your order out altogether. So fast forward this real quick and see what happens. Now we're looking to take 10 ticks, so we're just going to see if the market triggers this in right here, which we know it did. I'm just going through just to show you how it works. Market was moving slow. Again, this is a Friday. This is February 27th, yesterday. Let's speed this up a little bit faster. So here we go. Market was moving really slow, but good things come to those who wait, right?
Order filled.
All right, our order is filled. So I'm gonna pause it right here because or press play. We have a lot of time. So basically, you want to come right here. You can set your stop loss right here, one tick above this pivot right here. So we want to set the stop loss right there. We're in a sale, so we can do a buy stop right there.
Order pending.
And we want to try to get 10 ticks out of this, right? So we got in at 18164. We want to get taken out at 18154 right there. So we're going to do a buy limit right there as well. So
order pending.
We're going to see how this one works out. Our parameters are set up, and going to let this play out and see what happens. Let's speed this up a little bit, for the sake of time. Market's it was moving really slow around this time, so goes against you a little bit. Word. Speed this up a little bit more, so market's going back and forth right now.
Order filled.
Oh, that was quick. Okay, so when it finally went, and I apologize, I had it sped up, but you can see, it finally went, got you 10 ticks. You can see the buy right there where you got taken off the market. You can see your sell, and you can see your profit of 10 ticks right here. So in this video, I went over a buy first and a sell. So that is the reversal setup on the TFJ 2.0.